Welcome back. You're watching us here on Halftime Report. If you missed the opening of the market from yesterday's close, you haven't missed much, at least on the Nifty and the Sensex, but your portfolio would be feeling a deep shade of red because of the big gash that we're seeing in the mid-cap end of things. The index down almost 0.6% right now. Though for the frontline indices, we are seeing some bit of recovery from the lows. Let's talk about Aurobindo Pharma then. The company reported an inline set of numbers. Their margins expanded and drug sales also grew by about 14% on the year, although their US business performance missed street expectations by a slight bit. Ekta, my co-anchor, spoke with the management on their first quarter performance, began by asking them about just that, the US sales and the outlook going forward.
This quarter, US revenue got impacted by the non-seasonality. You know, as you are aware, that we have a good market share in the antibiotics, and this is not a season. And yet there is a drop in that. Apart from that, as we explained in the earnings call also, because of the remediation action was going on, and because of that, the related production delays have taken place, and because the specialty and injectable performance has come down because of that, which is expected to be resolved in the coming quarter, because we are already started seeing an improved production in this quarter. So this is expected to improve upon it. These are all the two major reasons. And the next season, the next quarter, that is the July to September, should be a good one compared to April to March, April to June.
So what are you targeting in terms of quarterly sales from the US going forward, given the contribution from Revlimid?
As you are aware, we are not giving the specific number on the Revlimid. So this is not, we are not disclosing that.
Okay, but are we working with around $425 million in terms of a quarterly run rate for coming quarters in the US? Or are you probably going to inch up similar to, say, for $40 million?
No, we are certainly going to inch up coming quarter, but we are not specifically telling whether it is a $40 million like that.
A ballpark range?
I think we are not giving any specific number, Ekta.
Okay. Well, on consolidated markets, on a consolidated basis, rather, your EBITDA margin guidance is around 21 to 22% for FY25. You've, as of now, not factored in any improvement in margins due to the PenG project. And you've mentioned that you will reassess your margins in November of 2024. Any outlook that you can provide us in terms of what we can expect on the margin picture now, as well as going forward?
You're absolutely right. We are not factored in anything on account of the PenG right now. We are in the process of progressing, and we are now taking higher commercial batches. These commercial batches will come around 30 batches we expect in the month of September, which will help us to give a meaningful contribution to the system. That time we can assess how much improvement will take place in the overall gross margin.
Okay. Well, coming to Eugia now, you are estimating around $600 million of sales in FY25. Where is this pickup expected to come from, considering that Unit 3 as well as Unit 2 are under the regulatory scanner?
The regulatory scanner, as you are aware, we have been now classified as OAI. OAI is not is going to stop any dispatches or improve production. So obviously we will be able to achieve it, and also we are working on the other markets like Europe and other places. So the business team is pretty confident they will be able to achieve the 600 million mark.
Okay. Now, Unit 3, you had indicated that there was some spillover of remediation costs into Q1 from Q4 as well. Is that now complete, or can we expect further spillovers into Q2?
No, we have already said, no, from Q1 to Q2, the spillover 7 million has come down to 2 million. This quarter is expected to be 2 million. We have already communicated. No?
Okay. So what is the overall status of remediation for Unit 3?
I think they have done all the CAPA, they have done most of the CAPA, everything, and they have already done the entire quality checking, everything. And they are also putting new process. And this is going to benefit the business, and we are pretty confident about it.
And Unit 2, which just received an OAI?
As explained, no, Unit 2, there are not major issues. There is a particular product whether it tantamount to contamination, I think Dr. Satakarni can able to throw some light.
Okay. Dr. Makkapati, what about the remediation? Are we expecting a possible re-inspection of these two facilities soon?
I think the remediation efforts are going on well. We believe that once the CAPA responses have been submitted, everything will be back to normal. About the inspection, etc., it will be speculating right now. But we are confident, based on the nature of the observations, we are confident that we will tide over with the CAPA responses that the units will submit, the unit quality teams will submit.
Okay. And what about fundraising? You all did mention that, IPO plans could be on the cards, Mr. Subramanian, when it comes to UGR. Can you apprise us of where the plans stand?
No, we are discussing with the bankers, and we need to get a clear opinion. We can go ahead with that or not. And after that, we'll go to the board with their recommendation. And after that, only a clear decision can be taken.
Okay.
Till that time, everything is just speculation.
Okay. As of now, there's nothing concrete when it comes to UGR fundraising.
As the company, we have been exploring various options, etc., as you are fully aware, and we are doing that only.
Okay. Well, Dr. Makkapati, what is the status of the tie-up with regards to MSD, the status of the facility that you have to be building, and when can we see revenue starting to accrue?
So, Ekta, the last time we spoke, I mentioned to you that we have just signed the definitive agreement with MSD, Singapore entity that includes one product schedule for manufacturing. Now, I also told you that with the limited letter of intent that we signed last year, we have initiated the civil works of the facility not to lose time. Now, having said that, the signing of the definitive agreement made sure that we could progress on the civil works with much more conviction. So the project is shaping well. I am quietly confident that we would be able to complete the commissioning of the large drug substance facility that comprises of 15 KL bioreactors, mammalian, and the drug product facility with the associated QC laboratories. All of it, I'm confident of commissioning by 2026. And we would also be initiating the engineering runs followed by the validation batches soon towards the end of 26 and early 27. So to your second question about when would I expect the revenues to come in from Theranim Biologics, the CMO business of ours, I expect the revenues to trickle in based on the milestones that we achieve, which is essentially the validation batches and the stockpiling effort that will start. I expect it to come from 2027 onwards. But the inflection point in terms of revenues for Theranim would be from 2029.
Okay. Any more such tie-ups, Dr. Makkapati, that we can expect? This is for one biologic product to start with. Do we see an extension beyond one product? And also any other companies that you would probably look to become a CDMO manufacturer when it comes to biologics? And when can we expect any kind of firm timelines?
I think that's a pretty good question. With Theranim Biologics, at this point of time, I would like to focus my initiatives for Aurobindo and for biologics around the anchor industry, which is the MSD. So at Theranim, I would not expect any more tie-ups for the first few years. We would like to deliver at Theranim for our first customer, and going forward, depending on how this business shapes up, there is always an opportunity to scale up the business in the CMO segment. Now, with respect to the other subsidiary or the affiliate that we have, which is focusing on biosimilars, which is Curatic Biologics, this is where I expect some traction in the next couple of years, where we would be actively engaging in some contract development opportunities as well with the innovative companies.
Right, interesting conversation there with the management of Aurobindo Pharma. A few probing questions, the management's refusal to answer them. Obviously, we'll get answers to all of that, Ekta, as and when things develop out there. But You to try your best.
Yes, absolutely. You know, just to get that quarterly figure in terms of US sales, considering that they have big products such as Revlimid generic contributing. But nonetheless, they said that there could be some improvement going forward.
Right, we take a short break, come back on the other side. Let's see whether there would be things improving for Ease My Trip or not. Their first quarter performance, we'll discuss that in detail with Prashant Pitti.